Hi, I'm glad you could join me. I've been wanting to do a colorful jungle scene for a while, so this morning I thought I would start a painting of two colorful parrots. So I began with my sky. This is simply just true blue mixed with titanium white and a little lilac. Lilac is a beautiful lavender color. And using my 1.5" brush, I'm just going to put in the outline of some mountains very far back in the distance. And again, this is just true blue with white. And here is a mixture of wasabi green, regular green, and a little white. Again, this is just foliage and jungle trees way off in the distance. And as I work forward, my colors get a little darker. And here again, I'm using plantation pine, excuse me, with a little purple. And I'm going to put in some leaves here. These leaves are closer to the foreground. Again, these are just all mixtures of greens, wasabi green, and I'm using dark brown, and this is spring green to add some moss growing on these limbs. I use a little rockwood red for the highlights on the branch. Of course, I have to time lapse, otherwise you'd be here with me for days, because this painting actually will take days to do. I'm going to drop in a larger branch here. Again, this is just with assorted browns, a dark brown, black for the base shadow down here, some wasabi green for the lighter areas, and this again is green with white. I mix it just to get a lighter green and then blend it all together. I'm using acrylics for this project. I'm just dropping in. This is a little rockwood red again. It really makes your picture pop. It just gives a little color. And I have to give my parrots a place to sit, so I'm putting in another little perch for them. Here I'm dropping in some more dense foliage, kind of plants you'd see growing in a tropical forest, a rainforest. I picture this being probably Central America, dropping in some more vines with black and brown and some wasabi green. At this point, I'm not exactly sure where my macaws are going to go. I just know I'm going to color over in the foreground. So I'm going to start a scarlet macaw here. And for his base feathers of his head, I'm just going to add pink. I get this pink by mixing red and white, and then pure white for the little highlights. Blend that in, and it stands out a little. And he's got the same color feathers down here. And then I go back over with pure red and start adding this color in. In my opinion, macaws are some of the most beautiful birds on the planet. Someone asked me the other day, are parrots the same as parakeets, macaws? What's the difference? And the answer is yes and no. Parrots there are about 372 species of parrots, and those include macaws and cockatoos and parakeets. Parakeets are a smaller variety of parrots. Just adding in, this is pure yellow. And some white for the ring around his eye. You see the rockwood red is a darker red for the feathers on the red plumage on his head. And I'm using pure black for under his beak here. Mixing it with a little white to make a gray mixture. Scarlet macaws, or macaws of several varieties, they're small to large birds, and they're typically found in Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean. Most species prefer in the rainforest and woodland or savanna. Some parrots are really large. They're known for their impressive size, particularly the hyacinth macaw. Here I'm just mixing a variety of blues, blue and white, to get these blue feathers, and adding pure white to let it blend in for the highlights. And of course just black and white to get a gray mixture for his talons. Talons are pretty large. And I want to give him some company, so I'm going to drop in a blue and yellow macaw. They're also called blue and gold macaws. And for his little top knot here on the top of his head, I'm adding green and white, and blue, and mixing that together. These are acrylics, so to get a good blend, sometimes I add just a tiny little bit of water. And his feathers here are true blue with white for the highlights, and even a little black mixed in for the deeper shadows to show his feathers. This is again pure yellow. And I'm mixing in a little brown here and there, just very, very lightly. Again, just to show feathers and contrast. It makes the picture more interesting, a little more realistic. For the really bright highlights, I add white to the yellow. Blending is the key. And pure black for the beak and under his throat area. I'm putting in, this is titanium white. So here we have the scarlet macaw and a blue and yellow macaw. Another really beautiful variety is a green macaw. It has green feathers and it's called a military macaw. It's not shown here, but they're really gorgeous. Most parrots' diets include seeds, nuts, fruits, buds, and other plant material. A few species eat animals and carrion even. I'm going to drop in some waterfalls back here in the distance using just white. And I'll add a few finishing touches to my paintings. Some vines growing, some tropical plants. I hope you've enjoyed watching. This was a fun painting to do. I enjoyed these colors. And this is actually part one of a two-part series I'm doing. The next painting will be of a jaguar. And you can find this painting and others exclusively at fineartamerica.com. Just check out the link below.